When my daughter disappeared, my world stopped moving. For 11 years, I lived between two moments. The day she went missing and the day I finally learned the truth. My name is Ethan, and this is the story I never thought I'd be strong enough to tell. It was a sunny Saturday in June. My daughter Lily was 5 years old, curious, fearless, and always asking questions I didn't know how to answer. We were at the local park for a community fair. Balloons, music, kids running everywhere. Lily had begged to go see the petting zoo, so I walked her over. I remember looking away for just a second, just one. Someone called my name from the ice cream truck, and when I turned back, she was gone. I searched every inch of that park. I shouted her name until my voice broke. People helped, police came, but as the sun went down, hope seemed to fade with it. Days turned to weeks, then months. Flyers, news stories, searches. Nothing. It was as if she'd vanished into thin air. My wife, Anna, and I fell apart after that. Grief built a wall between us we couldn't climb. She moved away 2 years later, saying she couldn't live surrounded by memories of what we'd lost. I couldn't leave. Every corner of our town held a piece of Lily. Her laughter, her drawings, her tiny handprints on the garden fence. 11 years passed. I stopped counting birthdays because it hurt too much. Then one morning I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. "Mr. Hale?" a woman's voice said. "This is Detective Ramirez from the State Missing Persons Unit. We need you to come in." My heart dropped. After so many false leads, I almost didn't go. But something in her tone told me this time was different. At the station, she showed me a photograph. A teenage girl, light brown hair, green eyes. "Is this your daughter?" I couldn't speak. She looked so much like Lily, but older. 11 years older. The detective explained that a girl matching Lily's description had shown up at a youth shelter 2 towns away. She told staff she wasn't sure who she was, only that she'd been living off the grid with a woman she thought was her mother. I drove there shaking. When I walked into the shelter, the world seemed to blur. A girl was sitting on a couch, sketching. She looked up and froze. Her eyes, they were Lily's. "Dad?" she whispered. I didn't even realize I was crying until she stood and ran into my arms. For the first time in over a decade, I held my little girl again. It took months to piece together what had happened. After the fair, a woman named Carla Jensen, who'd recently lost her own child, had taken Lily. She pretended to be Lily's mother and moved constantly between small towns, homeschooling her, keeping her away from anyone who might recognize her. Lily said she'd always known something was off. The woman avoided cameras, refused to let her talk to neighbors, and said the world outside was dangerous. But as Lily grew older, she started asking questions, and the lies started to crack. One day, when Carla fell asleep, Lily searched through her things and found an old newspaper clipping, her own missing person report. Her real name. My face. She packed a small bag and ran. She made it to a bus station, where a kind woman bought her food and convinced her to go to the police. That's how they found me. When I finally took her home, everything felt both familiar and new. She was taller, quieter, older, but she still laughed the same way, the same little snort at the end of every giggle. The first night back, she walked into her old bedroom. The wallpaper was still the same, stars and clouds. She traced a finger over the growth chart I'd never erased. The last line was at 5 years old. Then she turned and smiled. "Guess we should update it." We did. That night, I sat by her bed, just watching her sleep, afraid she might disappear again. But she didn't. It's been 2 years since that day. Carla Jensen is in custody, undergoing psychiatric evaluation. Lily is in therapy, rebuilding piece by piece. Some days are hard, but she's strong, stronger than I could ever be. People ask me how I managed for 11 years without answers. The truth is, I didn't. I just kept breathing. Now, when I see her laugh, when she runs through the same park where everything once ended, I realize something I never did before. Hope isn't about knowing things will turn out okay. It's about holding on long enough to see the day they finally do.